1971 opened with Marvin Gaye asking, "What's going on?"
What's going on? What's going on?
That same year, the Chi-Lites gave us "Have You Seen Her?"
Set me free. Have you seen her?
And Aretha Franklin reimagined Spanish Harlem. From anthems to ballads, these are 12 R&B and soul songs from 1971 we'll never forget. Bill Withers, Ain't No Sunshine.
Sunshine when she's gone, and this house just ain't no home.
Before he was a household name, Bill Withers was still punching a time clock at a factory when Ain't No Sunshine began climbing the charts in 1971.
Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, and this house just ain't.
The song's power came from its minimalist arrangement, just guitar, subtle strings, a rhythm section, and Withers' aching baritone. Its famous repeated refrain of "I know" 26 times in a row wasn't even written in the lyrics at first.
I know, 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 I know.
Withers improvised it in the studio and it stuck. The track won a Grammy for Best R&B Song, launching his career almost overnight.
Gone, only darkness.
Withers' everyman story, from factory worker to Grammy winner, gave the song even more emotional weight.
Sunshine when she's gone.
Proven soul music could thrive on simplicity as much as grand orchestration. 2. The Persuaders, Thin Line Between Love and Hate. The Persuaders scored their biggest hit with Thin Line Between Love and Hate in 1971, a slow burn ballad inspired by a real-life domestic dispute overheard by producer Richard Poindexter. Built on conversational vocal delivery, falsetto harmonies, and a church-like organ foundation, the song blurred the line between storytelling and singing.
It's a thin line. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Its cautionary tale about the shift from affection to resentment resonated deeply with audiences. Hit number 1 on the R&B chart. The track's narrative style later influenced the emerging Quiet Storm format in the mid-70s. Where spoken word intimacy became a hallmark. While their career was short-lived, the song lived on. H-Town revived it in the 1990s, introducing it to a new generation of R&B listeners. 3. Marvin Gaye, What's Going On?
So you can see what's going on. What's going on? What's going on?
In 1971, Marvin Gaye shattered Motown convention with What's Going On? The song's origins came when Four Tops member Ronaldo Benson witnessed police brutality in Berkeley and brought the idea to Gaye, who transformed it into a lush orchestral plea for peace.
There's far too many of you die.
It became the first Motown single to grant Gaye full creative control, marking a turning point in the label's history. With its layered instrumentation, saxophone, strings, multi-tracked vocals, and a jazz-inflected groove, the track redefined what soul music could be.
Everybody thinks we're wrong.
Berry Gordy initially resisted releasing it, fearing protest songs would hurt sales, but it soared to number 1. One R&B and number 2 population Rolling Stone now ranks it among the greatest songs ever recorded, a timeless anthem of conscience and compassion.
Oh, what's going on?
Up next, if Marvin Gaye sold its conscience, the next group showed how women could give it grit and swagger. 4. Honeycomb, Stick Up. After topping the charts with Want Ads, Honeycomb returned in 1971 with Stick Up, a funkier follow-up that proved they weren't just a pop soul novelty. Built on syncopated bass lines, stabbing horns, and urgent group harmonies, the track gave female-fronted soul a tougher, more socially conscious edge. produced by Holland Dozier Holland after their split from Motown. The song carried the polished Detroit sound, but with sharper funk undercurrents. Lyrically, it flipped the idea of romance into a playful holdup, with lead singer Edna Wright demanding emotional honesty at gunpoint. It hit the top 5 on the R&B chart, but never became as enduring as Want Ads. Still, Stick Up remains an overlooked gem that shows how female groups helped expand soul's lyrical and rhythmic palette. 5. The Chi-Lites, Have You Seen Her? One of the most unusual soul hits of 1971, Have You Seen Her, opened with a spoken monologue before sliding into lush orchestral soul. Written and produced by Eugene Record, the track featured string arrangements, gospel-rooted harmonies, and a narrative arc more like a short story than a conventional single. It struck a deep chord, topping the R&B chart and reaching number 3 population. Its blend of vulnerability and dramatic delivery made it one of the Chi-Lites' signature songs, alongside Oh Girl. The track proved influential enough to be revived by MC Hammer in 1990, showing its timeless appeal.
If you seen her, then I'll help her, 'cause I'm in love.
Even today, it's cited as an example of how Chicago soul leaned heavily on emotional storytelling and rich orchestration. 6. The Independents, Just As Long As You Need Me. Chicago's Independents delivered one of 1971's most heartfelt regional hits with Just As Long As You Need Me. Led by Chuck Jackson and Marvin Yancey, the latter later producing for Natalie Cole, the group specialized in tight vocal harmonies, smooth chord progressions, and understated rhythm sections that placed the spotlight on their voices. Though it didn't achieve major crossover success, the single became a staple in regional R&B markets and earned them a following among Northern soul collectors in later years. The track's blend of doo-wop phrasing with contemporary soul instrumentation placed it firmly within Chicago's harmony tradition, echoing groups like the Dells. While the Independents never broke big nationally, this song captures the richness of local soul scenes often overshadowed by Motown and Philly. Now, from Chicago's street corner harmonies, we move to Philly's polished falsetto elegance. If you're enjoying this journey through 1971 soul so far, stay tuned. And don't forget to hit subscribe and drop a comment telling us which of these classics still plays on your personal playlist. 7. The Stylistics, You Are Everything.
When it wasn't you.
With Russell Tompkins Jr.'s crystalline falsetto at the center, the Stylistics set the standard for Philly soul ballads with You Are Everything. Produced and arranged by Tom Bell, one of the architects of the Philadelphia sound, the track featured lush string arrangements, delicate vibraphone flourishes, and a restrained rhythm section that gave Tompkins' voice space to soar. Released in 1971, it reached the top 10 on both R&B and pop charts, establishing the group as new stars in a crowded soul field. The song became a favorite for weddings and slow dances, cementing the Stylistics' reputation for crafting romantic ballads.
Of being with you.
Their sound would heavily influence Barry White and later 70s R&B crooners. Few tracks encapsulated Philly's sophistication as perfectly as this one. 8. The Isley Brothers, Love the One You're With. In 1971, the Isley Brothers surprised fans by covering Stephen Still's folk rock hit, Love the One You're With. Their version transformed the track into a soul rock hybrid with wah-wah guitar, gospel-inspired harmonies, and a funkier rhythm section. It marked an experimental phase for the group as they broadened their repertoire beyond pure R&B into rock-infused territory. This stylistic stretch paved the way for their massive funk period later in the 70s with hits like Fight the Power and That Lady. Though it wasn't one of their biggest sellers, the single helped expand their audience and prove their adaptability. It also foreshadowed the Isleys' role as innovators willing to pull from outside genres to push soul forward. 9. The Undisputed Truth, Smiling Faces Sometimes.
Smiling faces sometimes, they don't tell the truth.
Few soul songs carry the ominous weight of Smiling Faces Sometimes. Produced by Norman Whitfield, who also crafted psychedelic soul masterpieces for The Temptations, the track was built on sinister bass lines, eerie string textures, and layered vocal harmonies that warned listeners about betrayal and hidden agendas. Released in 1971, it climbed to number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100, proving that darker, socially conscious material could also be commercially successful. Its haunting delivery mirrored the political and social disillusionment of the post-60s era. While The Undisputed Truth never matched this success, the single remains a defining moment of psychedelic soul, showcasing Whitfield's experimental production style. Its theme of deceptive appearances has kept it relevant in pop culture decades later. 10. Gladys Knight and the Pips, If I Were Your Woman. Gladys Knight and the Pips opened 1971 with one of their most dramatic singles, If I Were Your Woman. Built on gospel-rooted piano chords, anguished string swells, and Knight's powerhouse delivery,
She tears you down, darling.
the song was a masterclass in controlled intensity. The lyrics flipped traditional gender roles, offering a bold perspective on fidelity and desire.
She tears you down, darling.
It reached number 1 on the R&B chart and earned a Grammy nomination for Best R&B Vocal Performance. Later artists, from Alicia Keys to George Michael, revisited the track, proving its timeless relevance. What makes it unforgettable is Knight's ability to sound both vulnerable and defiant within the same breath.
I'm what you need, but I'm too afraid to show it. If I were
A vocal performance that elevated a straightforward ballad into something iconic. Stay tuned. After the haunting groove of psychedelic soul comes a powerhouse ballad that redefined devotion. 11. Aretha Franklin, Spanish Harlem.
It's growing in the street, right up through the concrete.
Originally recorded by Benny King in 1960,
I'll have to beg your pardon.
Spanish Harlem found new life when Aretha Franklin reimagined it in 1971. Aretha's version layered gospel phrasing, Latin-inspired rhythms, and lush orchestration, turning it into a soaring R&B ballad that topped the R&B chart and hit number 2 on the pop chart.
Spanish Harlem.
Unique to her recording is the presence of her sister, Carolyn Franklin, on backing vocals, which added familial warmth to the performance. Aretha's interpretation proved her unmatched ability to take an existing song and make it entirely her own, often eclipsing the original. It became one of her signature hits of the early 70s, further cementing her title as the Queen of Soul.
Sweet and dreamy.
12. Al Green, Tired of Being Alone.
help me if you
Closing out 1971, Al Green's Tired of Being Alone introduced the world to his sensual falsetto style and cemented his role as a new voice in soul. Written years earlier and initially rejected, it was finally released thanks to producer Willie Mitchell's faith in its potential.
tired of being all wrapped up in my dreams.
The song featured staccato horn lines, muted guitar, and a rhythm section that built tension under Green's pleading vocal. It reached number 7 on the pop chart and number 1 on the R&B chart, earning its place among Rolling Stone's 500 greatest songs of all time. Beyond chart success, it set the blueprint for Green's 70s run of romantic soul classics, where vulnerability and intimacy became his signature. And that's our journey through 1971, a year of heartbreak ballads, timeless grooves, and soul anthems that still echo today. Which of these tracks is your personal favorite? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into soul history. And if you want to go even further back, check out our video on 12 unforgettable R&B and soul songs from 1962. Another golden year you won't want to miss.